The election results are in. Alexis briefs Jason. Emma is outraged. Vaughn summons Josh. Nathan provides an ear to Lulu. Alexis and Rick make a deal to save Rocco, and Sunny offers to make Dalton. Change the story. Joss and Vaughn spot Dalton at the Brown Dog. Vaughn watches as Joss joins the professor and learns about his rough day. Drunken Dalton tells Joss that Rocco broke into his lab. What was he supposed to do? He talks about the mayor hitting him. Joss talks to him about his work and asks what the kids were looking for. Dalton says animals and talks about activists going too far. Joss hopes none of his research was compromised. Dalton admits he's too smart for them. He does no testing on campus anymore. Joss thinks it's smart of him. Visionaries are misunderstood. Vaughn watches as Dalton puts his hand on Joss' leg and confides that he does his work at another lab, one that PCU doesn't know about. Get updates on the latest posts and more from soapspoilers.com straight to your inbox. We use your personal data for interest-based advertising. As outlined in our privacy notice, Emma and Gio are at GH, and Gio can't stop thinking about Dante's tirade but understands why Dante's pissed. It's with good reason. Gio worries. Rocco thinks he doesn't care enough to protect him, but Emma reminds him Rocco told them not to come forward. At Windermere, Britt barks at Sidwell that she doesn't want Rocco in prison. Sidwell calls him her savior, reminding her who is giving her the medication, keeping her alive. What kind of life would she live without it? She blames him for taking her life from her, but he doesn't see it that way. She just needs to finish the work that her father started. He finds her hostility confusing. She's still pissed. Pascal strapped a bomb to her ankle. Sidwell agrees it was wrong, but Jason saved her. She owes him her life. He wants to know what she's told him about the 5 poppies. She admits he knows nothing. Jens is glad and admits he almost killed Jason in Africa. Last year, he'd be disappointed if he learned she was working for him. She denies caring what Jason thinks. At PCP, Alexis tells Charlotte and Danny to recount what happened at the lab. Later, she asks Nathan his thoughts on the kid's confession. He says the story makes sense. Charlotte's confession is polished but unrehearsed. Danny seems genuine. They'd make good witnesses. Jason appears and they discuss the case. Jason asks if the kids can save Rocco. She responds in favor of it. Back in the interrogation room, the kids talk about proving that Dalton trashed his lab. They need to go over their story and make it sound good. Sunny arrives at Dante's office and Rick tells him, Lulu and Dante, that if Danny and Charlotte confirm what happened in the lab, he can get Rocco off. This doesn't make Lulu feel any better. There's a risk. Dante refuses to sacrifice the other kids. Rick talks odds and they go around in circles. Sunny sides with Rick before Alexis turns up and tells them Jason's on board. Lulu has a hard time with this and needs to talk to her daughter first. Jordan arrives at Laura's office. She's on a call about Rocco and shares that the head of the detention center says he's fine. Jordan offers to help. There's nothing she can do and blames herself. She'll do what she can to protect Rocco while she's still married. They discuss the pompous ass getting what he deserved, but Laura knows Ezra's probably going to win. She apologizes to Jordan for ruining their plan. Now, Jordan's twisting in the wind, but Jordan points out she can't find any of Sidwell's illegal activities. Jordan calls her a force, but Laura doesn't feel like it. She worries everyone will suffer when Ezra becomes mayor. Drew arrives and rubs it in that PC has a new mayor. He asks if she's working on her concession speech. His eyes bug out as he says, Will, I lost suffice. Jordan defends Laura and tells him to take a hard look at himself. Drew tells her to leave. Laura wants a word alone with the congressman anyway. When Jordan leaves, Laura says she knows she will probably lose the office, and it'll be up to him to protect the people of PC. She's appealing to the man he used to be. Drew asks her to endorse Ezra as mayor, but she knows he's in Sidwell's pocket. He flashes back to Sidwell setting down the rules for working for him. He claims Ezra's record is spotless, and she turns a blind eye to Sunny. Laura thinks he's motivated out of pure spite. They argue about why she put Dante in charge of the police. She explains her reason, and he accuses her of favoritism. They're not that different, Drew tells her. Jordan returns. They're about to call the race. They watch it on Jordan's phone. Laura won for more years. Drew's stunned. Back at the Brown Dog, Joss lays it on thick that she's on Dalton's side and asks if it's hard going back and forth to the other lab. He opens up, saying it's not hard and rent's cheap around here. There are no neighbors, so they can't hear the dogs bark. He admits he keeps them sedated. I'm not a monster. She never thought so. Emma and Gio walk in, and Emma's angry to see Joss getting drinks with him. Vaughn points out the kids, and Joss asks Dalton to get out of there. He asks her to try out his couch at the lab. Before they can go, Gio approaches. He invites them for a drink, and she agrees. She'll be fast and asks Dalton to wait. Emma confronts her and they tell her about Rocco's arrest. Dalton appears and Emma tells him to get lost. Emma rails on Dalton about the animals and he lies to her face. Emma admits she knows about his last job. She was the one who told on him then. She's the one who broke into his lab then, and now, Dalton freaks. Threatens to lock her up like Rocco, so she throws her drink at him. Vaughn intervenes and asks Dalton to come to the station to work things out. The kids realize he's WSB. Dalton agrees to it and heads out with Vaughn, following the drunk professor, while Emma and G question Joss about Vaughn. She pretends she had no idea he was WSB. Emma realizes she was wrong, and now Rocco's locked up for nothing. Joss denies that. She tells them that when Dalton was there, he admitted to testing animals off campus. They're happy to learn. Emma's instincts were right. She goes and runs into Vaughn outside. He's proud of what she did, but admits he hated how she got the information. They make out back at PC. Nathan lets Jason go see the kids while Lulu appears. She tells Nathan she's terrified. The kids could all be in JUVIE. She goes to see the kids and tells Charlotte she doesn't have to do this. Danny's word might be enough, but Charlotte has to do it for her brother. Later, the kids admits they took the fob from Britt's purse. Dalton arrives at Windermere, drunk and pissed off. He has the WSB after him now. He demands Sidwell get him to back off. Britt goes off on him for his tantrum. He put their operation at risk. Sidwell calls him a liability. Dalton thinks he's an asset. But Britt calls him a useless tool. She can do his work for him. Sidwell agrees and shoots Dalton in the chest. Dalton goes down, falls to the sofa while Britt looks aghast. Back at Dante's office, Alexis tells him that Charlotte's in and it's them versus Dalton at this point. Outside, Rick tells Sunny not to make Dalton disappear. This is going to work.